That's not a line to scare you. That's the truth you need to hear. Too many people mistake crumbs for commitment. Too many confuse attention with affection. But love is not about how much time he gives you when it's convenient. It's about whether he's building something with you, consistently, deliberately, openly. And if he's not, then you're not being loved. You're being used. The hardest pill to swallow is this. People don't always stay in our lives because they love us. Sometimes they stay because it's easy, because you give them validation, because you give them intimacy without real investment, because you make them feel wanted without requiring them to step up. That's not love. It's convenience, and you deserve better than being somebody's convenience. Let's cut through the noise and get brutally clear. Here are 7 warning signs he's not in love. He's using you, and if even one of these feels familiar, you already know what you need to do. Warning sign 1, he's hot and cold. When a man is truly in love, he doesn't make you wonder where you stand. If one moment he's all over you and the next he disappears, that's not passion. It's inconsistency. Love is steady, not chaotic. Warning sign 2, he makes time only when it suits him. If you're always the one waiting on his schedule, always the one adjusting, always the one bending, then you're not being prioritized. You're being used for convenience. Love makes room for you. It doesn't squeeze you in. Warning sign 3, you give more than you get. Are you always the one checking in? Always the one planning? Always the one caring? If you're pouring your heart in and only getting drips back, that's not balance, that's exploitation. Warning sign 4, he avoids defining the relationship. Real love doesn't hide behind excuses. If he dodges the "where is this going" conversation, it's because he doesn't want it to go anywhere. He just wants to keep you where you are, available, without commitment. Warning sign 5, you feel more anxious than secure. Love brings peace, not constant doubt. If you're lying awake at night wondering if you matter, if you're second-guessing every text, if you feel like you're always one mistake away from losing him, that's not love. It's manipulation. Warning sign 6, he shows up when he wants something. When he calls, is it usually because he needs a favor, needs comfort, or needs intimacy, but not because he wants to truly connect? That's not partnership, that's transaction. Warning sign 7, your instincts already know. This is the loudest sign of all. Deep down, you already feel it. You already know he's not all in. You already know you're holding on to potential, not reality. And ignoring that voice is how you get trapped. Now here's the truth. It's not enough to notice the signs. You have to act on them. You cannot stay hoping he will suddenly wake up and love you the way you deserve. Because the longer you stay, the more you teach him that he can give the bare minimum and still keep you. And the longer you stay, the more you teach yourself that you don't deserve more. But you do. You deserve a love that's not confusing, not conditional, not halfway. You deserve someone who shows up without being begged, who invests without being pushed, who chooses you every day, not just when it's easy. The most powerful move you can make is this. Stop being afraid of losing someone who's not afraid of losing you. Read that again. Stop being afraid of losing someone who's perfectly comfortable risking you. Because that fear is what chains you to mediocrity. That fear is what keeps you stuck in a cycle where you're always chasing love instead of receiving it. Love is not about proving your worth to someone who cannot see it. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to let anyone treat it lightly. When you walk away from someone who's using you, you are not losing love. You're creating space for it to finally find you. The difference between being loved and being used is this. Love lifts you. Being used drains you. Love makes you feel safe. Being used keeps you on edge. Love inspires you. Being used depletes you. And here's the final word. Don't confuse attention with affection. Don't confuse presence with commitment. Don't confuse desire with devotion. If it's not love, then it's a trap. And the only way out is to choose yourself. Love is not confusion, it's clarity. That's the truth too many people overlook. If you're constantly second-guessing, replaying conversations in your head, decoding text messages like they were riddles, and asking yourself whether someone cares or not, then let me save you the pain. That's not love, because love doesn't live in confusion. Real love brings certainty. Real love makes you feel safe, not anxious. Think about it. When someone is truly for you, you don't need to chase reassurance every 5 minutes. You don't have to analyze every silence or wonder why they went missing for days. You know where you stand. Love is clarity. It's the comfort of consistency. It's the freedom of trust. Anything less is a half-hearted commitment disguised as affection. The reason so many people settle for confusion is because they confuse intensity with clarity. Intensity is that rush you feel when someone pays you attention for a while, when they come close and then pull away, when they keep you hooked on maybe. But clarity is different. Clarity is the calm knowing that this person is invested, that they want you. Not sometimes, not only when it's convenient, not just when they're lonely, but always. If you're living in confusion, it's time to ask yourself, why? Why are you accepting uncertainty as if it's a form of love? Is it because you're afraid that if you let go of this person, no one better will come? Is it because you believe that love must always be complicated, messy, or filled with drama? Let me tell you, that's a lie. Real love doesn't exhaust you. It expands you. When someone truly loves you, they don't make you doubt. They don't keep you guessing. They don't vanish when you need them most. They show up. Again and again, they make sure you know you're valued. They make sure you feel chosen, because that's what love is, a choice expressed through clarity. Clarity means no mixed signals. If you're constantly receiving excuses instead of effort, that's not clarity, that's avoidance. If you're always confused about whether he sees a future with you, the answer is already in the confusion. He doesn't. Someone who loves you will not keep you in the dark. They will not give you half answers. They will not hide behind, I don't know what I want. Because when someone loves you, they do know. They know they want you. Here's the hard truth. If you have to ask whether it's love, it probably isn't. Love is not silent. Love is not vague. Love doesn't hide behind convenience. Love declares itself. Love shows itself. Love acts with consistency. And if what you're experiencing feels like endless uncertainty, then you're not being loved. You're being strung along. So what do you do when you realize this? You stop settling. You raise your standards. You remind yourself that confusion is not passion. It's manipulation. You remind yourself that uncertainty is not part of love. It's a sign of its absence. And then you do the bravest thing you can. You walk away from what isn't love, even if it feels hard, because you know that clarity exists and you deserve it. Love is clarity. It's the kind of connection where you're not competing for attention. You're not begging for scraps. You're not waiting by the phone wondering if you'll matter today. Instead, you're certain, you're steady, you're safe. That's how you know it's love. The mistake most people make is believing that time will turn confusion into clarity. They wait for the other person to suddenly wake up, to suddenly choose, to suddenly make things certain. But clarity isn't something that arrives one day out of nowhere. Clarity is there from the beginning. It's visible in their consistency, their effort, their willingness to build with you. If you don't see it, then stop waiting. Because the longer you stay in confusion, the further you drift from the love you actually deserve. Remember this, uncertainty is already an answer. If you're unsure whether someone values you, that doubt is the sign you need. Because when someone values you, you won't question it. You'll feel it every day. So stop romanticizing confusion. Stop chasing the maybe that never becomes yes. Stop accepting less than clarity. Love is not about decoding signals. It's about feeling secure without doubt. It's about knowing where you stand and knowing that you're chosen. Anything else is not love. It's a trap. And here's the final truth. The moment you stop tolerating confusion is the moment you make space for real love. The moment you choose clarity over chaos is the moment you prove to yourself that you know your worth. And the moment you refuse to be an option is the moment you become someone's only choice. Being used always feels like chasing. Love feels like being chosen. That one line has the power to change everything for you. If you've ever found yourself running after someone's affection, constantly proving your worth, endlessly waiting for their attention, then you already know what being used feels like. It's exhausting. It's draining. It's like sprinting after a moving target that was never meant to stop for you. That's not love. That's exploitation dressed up as romance. Love is not a chase. Love is a choice. And the person who truly loves you will not make you beg for scraps of attention, validation, or commitment. They will choose you without hesitation, without excuses, without disappearing and reappearing when it suits them. Because love doesn't come and go like a tide. Love stays. When you're being used, you'll notice a pattern. You're always the one reaching out, always the one adjusting your life, always the one pouring in. And what do you get in return? Just enough to keep you hoping. A few sweet words, a little affection, a moment of intimacy. But it never lasts, it never evolves, it never grows. You're left chasing, believing if you just run faster, if you just do more, if you just give everything, then maybe they'll finally choose you. But here's the truth, people don't choose you because of how much you chase. They choose you because they want to. No amount of proving can convince someone to love you. Love is not earned by overextending yourself. It's given freely by someone who values you. If it isn't given, then what you're experiencing isn't love at all. Being chosen feels completely different. It's calm, it's steady, it's secure. You don't wonder if you matter because their actions tell you every day. You don't wake up anxious because their commitment is clear. You don't live on edge because you're not running after them. They're standing right beside you. Love feels like being seen, being wanted, being prioritized. The reason so many people stay stuck in the cycle of chasing is fear. Fear that if they stop running, the person will leave. Fear that if they stop proving, they'll lose whatever little attention they're getting. But think about it. What are you really losing if someone walks away the moment you stop chasing? You're not losing love. You're losing the illusion of it. You're losing someone who never intended to choose you in the first place. That's why the most powerful thing you can do is stop. Stop chasing. Stop overgiving. Stop waiting for someone to wake up and see your worth. When you pull back, you see the truth clearly. Either they step up and choose you or they disappear. And if they disappear, they've given you your answer. Real love is not a marathon you have to run to win someone's heart. Real love is someone meeting you halfway, matching your effort, and making sure you feel wanted without question. Real love doesn't demand that you lose yourself to keep someone else happy. It doesn't ask you to beg for attention. It doesn't leave you tired, empty, and confused. If you've been caught in the chase, remind yourself of this. You are not meant to be an option. You are not meant to be convenient. You are not meant to carry the entire relationship on your back. You are meant to be chosen. And being chosen is not something you can force. It's something you attract when you hold your standards high. So what does being chosen look like? It looks like consistency. It looks like effort. It looks like them making time for you, not just when they're bored, not just when they need something, but because you matter to them. It looks like them planning a future, not avoiding the conversation. It looks like you feeling secure in their love, not questioning it every day. And here's the greatest lesson. When you stop tolerating being used, you make room for real love to find you. The energy you waste on chasing someone who doesn't choose you is energy that could be spent building a life where love comes naturally, without games, without confusion, without begging. Don't confuse being wanted for a moment with being chosen for a lifetime. Don't confuse being convenient with being valued. And don't confuse attention with affection. If it feels like chasing, it isn't love. If it feels like being chosen, that's where you belong. The difference between being used and being loved is this. Being used feels like running in circles, drained and uncertain. Being loved feels like standing still and being embraced for exactly who you are. One keeps you empty, the other fills you. So decide today, will you keep chasing someone who will never truly choose you? Or will you choose yourself, raise your standards, and wait for the one who doesn't make you run, but makes you feel at home? Respect yourself enough to walk away. That single decision could save you years of wasted time, endless heartbreak, and the slow erosion of your self-worth. Too many people stay where love is absent, hoping, begging, waiting for things to change. But the truth is this, every time you stay in a situation that drains you, you send a message to yourself and to the other person that your respect for them is greater than your respect for yourself. And that is the root of why you feel stuck. Walking away is not weakness. It's power. It's the loudest statement you'll ever make. that you will not settle for less than what you deserve, that you will not keep pouring your soul into a place that only gives you crumbs in return, that you refuse to be an option when you know you're worthy of being the only choice. Here's the reality. Staying in the wrong relationship doesn't make it work. Staying in a one-sided connection doesn't suddenly create love. Hoping harder doesn't change someone's lack of effort. The only thing it does is drain you. And the longer you stay, the more you teach yourself to accept less, and the more they learn they can give less. That cycle doesn't end until you make the choice to respect yourself enough to walk away. Respect is not just about how others treat you, it's about how you treat yourself. If you tolerate neglect, disrespect, inconsistency, or half-hearted love, then you are training your own heart to believe that this is all you deserve. But deep down, you know it's not. You know you were built for more. You know you want a love that lifts you, not one that breaks you down. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't love. It means you loved yourself enough to not be destroyed by someone else's lack. It means you chose peace over chaos. It means you chose dignity over desperation. It means you looked at the situation, saw the truth for what it was, and had the courage to move on. That is strength. The world will tell you to fight for love, to never give up. But here's the distinction. You fight for someone who is also fighting for you. You fight for someone who shows up, invests, commits, and proves their love through action. You don't fight for someone who makes you feel like you're never enough. You don't fight for someone who disappears when you need them. You don't fight for someone who isn't choosing you, because that's not fighting for love. That's fighting for pain. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit it's not working, admit they're not who you need, admit they will never change, and respect yourself enough to walk away. Because when you walk away, you send a message to the universe, to others, and most importantly, to yourself. I am not afraid to lose what doesn't value me. I am only afraid of losing myself by staying. Think about the power of that. Every step you take away from someone who uses you, neglects you, or takes you for granted is a step towards someone who will love you the way you deserve. Every time you say no more, you create room for so much better. But if you stay, you'll never know what you could have had. So how do you know when it's time to walk away? It's simple. If you feel more anxious than at peace, walk away. If you feel more drained than fulfilled, walk away. If you're constantly questioning your worth because of how they treat you, walk away. If the relationship feels like you're giving everything and getting nothing, walk away. Because real love does not feel like torture. Real love is not endless confusion. Real love is not built on excuses. Real love is clarity, consistency, and care. Respecting yourself enough to walk away is not just about relationships. It's about life. It's about friendships that take but never give. It's about jobs that undervalue you and steal your joy. It's about habits that keep you small. In every area of your life, walking away from what drains you creates space for what fulfills you. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Leaving isn't the hard part. Staying in a situation where you're dying inside is. Walking away feels terrifying at first because you fear being alone, but staying in the wrong place guarantees loneliness. Walking away opens the door to healing, growth, and eventually the love and respect you truly deserve. So let today be the day you draw the line. Let today be the day you stop begging, stop chasing, stop settling. Let today be the day you prove to yourself that your self-respect is not for sale, because the moment you walk away from less, you tell the world you are ready for more, and more will come. Because self-respect is magnetic. It attracts people who recognize your value. It attracts opportunities that match your worth. It attracts the kind of love that doesn't confuse you, doesn't use you, doesn't half love you, but fully chooses you. So remember this, respect yourself enough to walk away from anything, from anyone, from anywhere that makes you doubt your worth. Because walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of finally becoming who you were always meant to be.